When we hear the word success, most of us immediately imagine wealth, fame, recognition, or power. The world has conditioned us to equate success with accumulation of things, of status, of approval. But the Aghori path teaches us something radically different. Success, from the Aghori perspective, is not about what you gather from the world, but what you can rise above. It is not measured in possessions, but in freedom. And freedom is born not from clinging, but from detachment. Detachment in common speech often sounds cold. People mistake it for apathy, as if detachment means withdrawing from life or refusing to love. But the Aghori understanding is much deeper. Detachment is not the absence of love, it is the highest form of love. It is the recognition that everything in this world is temporary. Wealth will fade, bodies will age, relationships will change, and even the strongest empire will crumble. When we cling to these transient things, we set ourselves up for suffering. When we release our grip, we discover a power that cannot be taken away. The cremation ground where Aghoris meditate is the ultimate reminder of this truth. Imagine sitting where flames consume the body, where yesterday's laughter becomes ash, where every human, no matter how powerful, returns to dust. In that setting, the question arises, what is real success? Is it the pile of gold you cannot take with you? Is it the applause of people who themselves will vanish? Or is it the realization that you are not bound by the rise and fall of life's illusions? True power, according to the Aghori, lies in mastering yourself, not in conquering others. A king who rules a kingdom but is enslaved by his desires is weaker than a beggar who has tamed his mind. Detachment is not about leaving the world behind, but about living in it without being owned by it. It is the art of holding everything lightly, to enjoy food without becoming addicted to taste, to experience relationships deeply, but not lose yourself in attachment, to use wealth as a tool without becoming its servant. There is a Sanskrit verse from the Bhagavad Gita that reflects this wisdom. Karmanye vadikaraste, ma phaleshu karachana. You have a right to action, but never to the fruits of action. This is the heart of detachment. The world teaches us to obsess over results. Will I win? Will I lose? Will they approve of me? But the Aghori understands that results are never fully in our control. When we surrender the fruit and focus on pure action, our mind becomes fearless, and fearlessness is the highest power. Why does detachment bring true success? Because it removes the chains of fear and greed. Think of how most people live. They act out of fear of losing or greed of gaining. This is why they compromise their integrity, why they become restless, why they remain unsatisfied even after reaching milestones. But the one who is detached is unshakable. If fortune comes, he accepts it. If it leaves, he smiles. His success is not in circumstances. It is in his state of being. Let me give you an example. Imagine two men. One works day and night, chasing promotion after promotion, never satisfied, always comparing himself with others. When he finally reaches the top, he realizes there is still more above him, and his restlessness continues. Another man works with full dedication but without attachment to outcome. He gives his best, not because he craves reward, but because the act itself is his offering to the divine. Whether he is praised or ignored, he sleeps peacefully at night. Who is truly successful? The world may point to the first, but the soul recognizes the second. The Aghori also understands that clinging creates fear, and fear weakens the spirit. When you cling to wealth, you fear losing it. When you cling to relationships, you fear abandonment. When you cling to reputation, you fear criticism. Every form of clinging makes you vulnerable. But when you release, when you stand in the cremation ground of your own mind and declare, I am beyond gain and loss, a new strength arises. You become fearless. That is true success. Success is not about renunciation of life, but renunciation of illusion. The Aghori does not reject the world. He eats what comes his way. He lives amidst society. He laughs, he cries. But he is free because he sees all as Shiva, all as transient, all as play. He is not bound. Imagine what your life would look like if you embraced even a fraction of this vision. If your self-worth did not depend on likes or followers. If your peace was not tied to money or validation. You would walk through life with an inner steadiness that no storm could shake. That is true power. Modern society is built on constant comparison and competition, but the Aghori path whispers a different secret. Your greatest victory is over your own illusions. Your highest achievement is inner freedom. Detachment transforms success from something fragile into something eternal. When you are detached, you cannot be manipulated because nothing external can control you. You become like the flame of a lamp in a windless place. Steady, radiant, untouchable. So the question for you is this. What are you clinging to that is making you weak? What fear holds you back from true freedom? Sit with that, reflect on it, and ask yourself, is this attachment worth the chains it places on me? The Aghori would say, walk into your inner cremation ground, burn those attachments, and rise from the ashes. There you will find the kind of success the world cannot give and cannot take away. If you felt this message touched a truth inside you, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe, so that we can build a community of seekers who walk this path together. In a world chasing shadows, let us gather here to seek the flame that never dies.